A sudden flash of light in the dark. An animal reacts immediately. Pure sensory reflex. We humans, however, instantly start analyzing where the light came from and what it means for tomorrow. Every creature inhabits its own sensory world, or umwelt. Animals largely occupy an immediate physical space, while the human brain functions as a powerful prediction machine. We've built a conceptual umwelt constructed almost entirely out of time. Using the past to build scaffolds for the future is a powerful survival tool. But that biological advantage is also our deepest psychological trap. Projecting scenarios breeds heavy anxiety for unwritten futures and deep regret for an unchangeable past. Because we constantly loop these projections, our memories and our anxieties feel heavy. They seem like incredibly solid, loud, and permanent fixtures in our minds. That heaviness is why the advice to just live in the now often feels so frustrating. It is difficult to grasp a single present moment when time feels like a relentless, fast-moving river sweeping us along. Achieving pure presence requires us to dismantle the illusion that our thoughts are permanent, physical objects. This diagram illustrates how, if you look at the brain physically, a thought isn't a tangible object. It is simply a transient pattern of electricity firing across a network of neurons. Our working memory has a very short shelf life. Without active rehearsal, repeating the thought to keep the energy flowing, that precise electrical pattern naturally decays in just 15 to 30 seconds. This is the physical law of entropy at work. Without constant energy input, all organized systems in the universe naturally trend toward disorder and chaos. The thought doesn't go to a graveyard. The pattern just scatters into white noise. Holding on to thoughts and memories means fighting this physical law. It requires us to maintain a highly organized, low-entropy state, which demands a constant, exhausting input of metabolic energy to keep those neural connections from drifting into randomness. When you relax that mental grip and stop supplying the energy of recall, those electrical patterns naturally dissolve back into the subconscious void. Even long-term memories rely on physical synapses that weaken without reactivation. The past only survives in your present awareness because you are actively fighting entropy to keep it there. Once you stop feeding it energy, it begins its natural drift toward forgetting. This timeline shrinks to show that the future is similarly fragile when we look at the structural physics of now. In classical mechanics, the present is an infinitely thin boundary between what was and what will be, possessing exactly zero duration. We try to bridge this zero duration gap by continuously building future predictions, but instantly crowds those old thoughts right out of our limited workspace. The entire distinction between the flowing past, present, and future was exposed as a stubborn, persistent illusion by Albert Einstein's theory of relativity. This model illustrates the block universe, where time doesn't flow at all. Every single moment, past, present, and future, exists simultaneously as entirely static coordinates within a cosmic block. In this model, living in the now is the act of successfully anchoring your awareness to your specific current coordinate in the cosmos. The future is just another heavy conceptual layer we project. When you let real-time, immediate data flood your senses, that imagined timeline collapses. So, what actually remains when we stop fighting entropy and let the heavy projections of past and future fall away? The removal of the timeline results in flow, a state of intense, optimal creative activation. This brain model shows the mechanism behind this state: transient hypofrontality. During deep focus, the prefrontal cortex deactivates. Because this region handles self-reflection and tracks time, its deactivation causes the ego to shut down. The sensation of time vanishes entirely. You are no longer a separate narrator watching yourself live. Your mind merges completely with the immediate action itself. We obviously still need the timeline. Destroying the past and future permanently would strip us of the identity we've built and the purpose we imagine for tomorrow. But while we must plan for tomorrow and learn from yesterday, the present is the only stage where any action can actually be performed. It is a pure space where the conceptual timeline drops away, leaving only the immediate data of experience.